Ms. Summitt, thank you for sharing your home with us today, opening up. Tell us about your native Austria as you were growing up.
I was during the war. It was during the war, and we actually had a terrible time. My mother, she was a seamstress or a tailor, and my dad left when I was 11 and was taken into the...
He didn't leave, he was drafted now. Be sure you make that...
In the German army. And either they gave him a choice. Either you go into the concentration camp, or you go to the army. You know what he took.
Sure.
Well, he was taken. He was captured in Russia. Stalingrad, Russia. He was captured there. We never heard from him till he came home. Four years I think he was there. So we didn't have anything. We didn't have any money because there was no money coming in except what my mother could make.
Now tell the story why he come home. Tell why he come home.
Why he come home? Well, he seen a doctor, a Russian doctor, and Dad had. He worked in a cement factory.
Asbestos.
He was a supervisor, yeah. And he got the semen in his lung, and he done a lot of coughing. So that woman doctor said to him, he said, "You have
TB.
TB. You have TB," and they sent him home. He didn't have TB. He had the cough, still the cough from a long time. Asbestos cough. So they sent him home.
For a week, I'm just butting in now, but anyway, for over a week, the American Red Cross called and told him that he was in the country, but they couldn't see him until they fixed him up. He had on a pair of shorts. That's all he had on when
they sent him home as a special.
And he'd been in Siberia, so that gives you an idea of what kind of...
So how much longer did he live? Did he survive that illness?
Yeah. Yes, he did.
He died at 89 after coming home. And,
yeah.
But they really sent him home just to die, though, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, the doctor said she didn't want to be all over that post because they had thousands and thousands of people in there.
Wow.
Anyway, I stayed with a family of 5 children. The man was also in the war, but she had 5 children. I stayed with her. And, she got coffee, tickets. Rationing for coffee, you see. And I asked her, I said, would it be all right if I take the coffee? And she said, sure. She said, I don't have any use for it. I have 5 children. I cannot use it. I said, well, would it be all right? Yes, she said it would. So every week I went home and I took a suitcase full of coffee to the house. So we could live because we couldn't
Black
get...
market.
Black market. But I didn't know it was black market. We're just trying to live. So I took it home every week. One week I went across a bridge and I had a suitcase full of coffee and it broke and all of the coffee all over. Well, that week we didn't eat. We didn't eat anything. We had nothing, absolutely nothing. We had rations, but they weren't enough. We got 1 cup of sugar a month. And from that sugar that we saved from that 1 cup, I make cookies for my dad.
Wow.
So I thought that, we'll get there. We had a certain place to send it to. It wasn't my dad at all. It was just a place to send it to. And it got there, but they took it. So
Some German soldiers filled his belly.
Yeah.
That and some other things that I made for my dad, and it never got there.
He never got anything.
He never got it. He never got it. So I had to walk through the woods to get to that place that I told you before. The 5 people there, and the 5 children, and there was, I seen it in the woods, a person sitting down, and he sat there and he said, no, that's what he wants, you know. So I went over there, and he said, dog, I want you to know that person eat a dog. He was so hungry.
Just to survive, yeah.
And I said, no. He said, go ahead, eat it. I said, no, I'm not eating the
You're not
dog.
going to eat the dog.
No matter how hungry. Every week I had to go to the cafeteria, not the cafeteria, restaurant, to the restaurant. And I got some soup there. The soup was made out of bouillon cube. Do you know what bouillon cube is? That's all I had all day long. That bouillon cube soup. And that's all we had. That's all I had. If we didn't get anything, like my coffee I mentioned before, we wouldn't eat. None. The farmers wouldn't give anything. I worked in Salzburg, Austria, in the hospital.
Now you're jumping ahead.
I know a little bit. And I had a job there. I was 14 years old. And I had a job there taking care of the little ones, the newborns, taking underneath mountains so we wouldn't get bombed out, you see, because the bomb constantly fell.
Wow.
So I took it underneath a mountain. That was my job. I had to work. We didn't have any money.
Right.
So all of a sudden a plane came and went da-da-da-da-da-da, right next to me, shot right next to me. I jumped in the ditch. That was saved my life. And then next day we had, I don't know if I should even mention that, but next day the army jeeps came in our hospital there on the ground and made up their food and everything there right in front of our hospital with a jeep, you know. They came and the first sister where I worked there, it was a religious place, she said, come on, Maria. And I said, what did I do? She said, not a thing. She said, I want you to come to the basement with me. I said, what for? Is anything down there? Nope, I want you to come down there and I feed you. I do everything for you that you need to be doing. And I said, why? She said, because the soldiers raped every young girl they could see.
As American soldiers, reputation as it went through Europe anyway.
Okay.
Raped every girl, and she said, I don't want you to. And she said, I want you to sleep next to me in the place there. I said, so nothing will happen. So she let me stay there for 14 days. And she fed me and done everything for me. But then, whenever they got through eating, the people, you know, the soldiers there, we were starved to death.
Sure.
I haven't had, when I don't know when I had a decent meal. And we stood around on the outside and watched them eat. And then I thought to myself, I hope that they leave something. So we, you know, maybe we
So
could
you could eat some scraps.
eat the scrap, because I would have done it as soon as I could because I was starved.
Uh-huh.
So when they got through, they brought the tanks, the gas tanks from the jeeps,
Gas cans.
gas cans, and then put it all over that and burned it up. Everything was burned. And believe it or not, that night I went inside and I just cried like a baby. Because I didn't expect.
Right.
But it did. They burned everything up.
So when was the next time you got to eat?
Days. I spent a lot of my time in the basement. So one night I woke up and I looked out and the sky was just lit up like you could read a newspaper. It was lit up, it was middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering, and then I seen airplanes coming over. 2 500-ton bombs to put it out in the field right next to our house. And it
It's a huge hole over there, believe it or not.
it was a huge. People really didn't realize how much that the sound of it was horrible. So that was that night. The next night we had to go into the basement again because we had the alarm up. It went woo, 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 woo. You know, it means that the planes are coming. Well, they came and go woo, 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 woo. You know, all the time. We had 2 kinds of soap that we could wash with, that we could buy. One soap was very light. It would swim. The other soap would sink. And they said it come from people that was, what should I say,
Cremated.
from concentration,
Cremated.
cremated people.
Mm-hmm.
They made the soap from cremated people. And believe it or not, we washed ourselves with that. When I found out, I couldn't believe it. It's unbelievable, the fear. You see, I'm part Jewish. I mean, that's what I found out
She's
later.
part Jewish.
You know, the Eigner family, the Baki book and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
That was my family, and they were Jews. So I know that if they have found that out, that I was Jewish, I wouldn't talk to you now.
Right.
I'd be in a concentration camp, and they would burn me up.
Mm-hmm.